Berry Lei making.
What was it again? Just letting you know that it's being recorded.
We are being recorded today, and you'll be able to see it in the next few days on our LPMC website. This is Hillary,
Aloha.
who is my neighbor and singer in the Palapu
Hillary.
Street Band and Hula Kumu, all kinds of Hawaiian things. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Aloha, everyone. Aloha kakahiaka. Good morning. As Pam said, I'm her next door neighbor of Happy, and we have Happy Street of Palapu, and I'm a kumuhula, Hillary or Ka'anohi Aipa. So today we'll be working on our He'e Berry Lei. Our He'e Berry, just wanted to give you some information. I have some really cool books. This is a 1939 book, and we'll put all these extra information so that in case you want to find them. This one is Our Familiar Island Trees by Mary Dillingham Freer. She was an awesome woman, and she was with the Outdoor Circle of Honolulu. So she has a write-up about many trees on our islands, and especially the one that we'll be working on today, which is the Aurelia family, Brassica actinophylla, or the octopus tree. And it would look like things that you would see up in the mountain range. This is the top, huge, like they grow 60 feet, huge. And all these happy little arms of what they call the He'e Berry arms or the serpent tree. They have all these cool berries. These are very invasive trees to our islands, but you know, it came by bird, wind, ocean, wherever traveling came from, and they love it here. They're also found in Queensland, yes,
In Australia.
in Australia. So these berries are happily used in our lake, and it's more for adornment in between other items. So you should have got the kit that had kukui nut and little shell rings. These are bubble shell rings. And you know, you can repurpose your kukui nut lei when someone gifts it to you. It's such a beautiful adornment of love and a gift of appreciation. But if you want to use it again, go ahead and you can cut it apart and put them in separate containers. Sometimes it's good to put rosemary or some peppermint or something inside, because there will be little buggies inside of the kukui nut and they'll eat through it. But you know, it's all good in Hawaii. So you'll have your berries that came in your newspaper all wrapped up in happy. And if you have a scissors handy, we wanted you to experience the cutting of the He'e berry. Okay, everybody good? So
Yeah.
it has nice full foliage of leaves. And we're so grateful for the people who grew these and let Pam and Lori pick them. It was so nice of them. So they really took their time, and we mahalo our nature for growing such beautiful, happy foliage of happy. Alrighty. I also have another book that's called The Hawaiian Garden Tropical Shrubs, which I also found the same umbrella tree, serpent tree information. Another book that would be good to add to your folks' library, which I really love, is Hawaiian Lei Making, Step by Step. This is by Lori Shimizu Ide, and she's such a sweetheart. I really enjoyed meeting her, and this is 1998 where it was first published. But inside of here, she has terrific pictures and step-by-step on how to make all kinds of different flower lei, including our He'e Berry, which I will show you right now. Super cool. So she has it strung in a whole single lane right here. And then she took 3 of those single strands and twisted them together. Now the only thing you have to remember about a He'e berry is some of us are very sensitive to itch, and it could cause, you know, itching on your chest, like the mokihana berry, which is from Hawaii. And even that, you will see a mokihana berry lei in between kukui and mock orange and shell. These are just extra kukui lei that I wanted to show you. Even tili in between. These in-betweens, when you wear them, keeps the berries off of your chest if you have a dress like mine. Or if you're giving it to your loved one that's a male, they usually wear a shirt. So, you know, they'll be fine. And it doesn't leave a stain. Whereas mokihana berries, they leave stains. So anyway, just things to keep in mind. Your he'e berry is not going to sting you, but it may itch a person. So that's why we gave you your kit with shells and kukui and gloves. My hands are not sensitive with this because I'm always making stuff. Speaking of things, I just wanted to show you real quickly. This is Lei Kaunaoa. This was from my yard. It grows along the beach and the mountain areas, but this particular one grew in my front yard. And I just needed to show it to you because I just finished making this lei. My kaunaoa was beautiful, and I ended up making a haku, or a braided lei. So this we would wear around our hat, or given to someone special to wear at a Mayday program if they were honoring the island of Lanai. Anyways, just wanted to share you. Pretty, huh? And it's called a growing lei. It's actually living lei. So all of these cool little flowers that's on it, once it hits the sunlight, they start popping, and all of these happy tendrils will just start growing off of your chest. So you'd be sitting there all beautiful looking, and then all your holy macaronis are growing and enjoying the sun and the nature outside. But it's really cool. Okay, back to our he'e berry. Sorry. Okay, so you have these wonderful berries inside of your newspaper. As you can see, Pam's already starting to cut her berries off. So go ahead. You can see what you have. Some of them have sprouted already, which is okay. But you just want to take your scissors and go as close as you can to the top and just click them off. So go ahead, click off holy macaroni berries, he'e berry. Everybody say mahalo, mahalo berries, mahalo, mahalo.
Mahalo berry.
Mahalo, mahalo he'e
Thank
berry.
you for being here.
Yes. Thank you for growing so beautiful. We wouldn't be able to get these had it not been for extension cutters and ladders and cool people that have them in their yard that let us pick. As you go along in your everyday driving, you will see them growing, and you'll be so amazed at how many of these he'e berries are. They will be selling these in pots, sometimes at the farmer lots. And again, just being mindful that this is an invasive species, but if you keep it in a potted pot, like we have some around our area in our yard, and they make beautiful arrangements of hedges, potted trees of happy. Once you figure out that you have enough, because you can always cut more. We gave you enough berries in your happy area to make quite a bit of lei. You could probably make at least 2 or 3 lei. But once you have them all together, you want to keep all your people separated. And you see what you have. You have kukui nut, you have berries, you have shell. So you want to make a pattern. You might also have a mock orange branch. And this was from Pam's yard. And some of you might even have them. Even these, you want to take off your leaves, just pull them off of the stem. And maybe in groups of 4 or 6. And then just keep them stacked up. And sometimes you can just go ahead and make some of those if you folks have your mock orange. Everybody say mock orange. Mock orange. And you can smell it. Mock orange has a beautiful fragrance. It almost smells like maile. We used to make these when we had lei festivals and May Day because it looked like maile lei. We would not do it by one at a time. We would take all of the maile like this. I mean the mock orange, and put them together and wrap. Really. And wrap our leaves together, and it looked like a maile when it's all nice and beautiful. A lot of our halau use it still today because of the moratorium on maile. Even that was getting overpicked and overused. So we needed to be careful and cautious of how we take care of our aina. Okay, so there you go. So you have a couple maile, I mean mock maile, mock orange, berries, bubble shells that are all strung in a little circle. It's really nice. Just so you know, these bubble shells, some are mostly from the Philippines, Thailand, all the islanders, but the beach, this is their sand. All of these shells, this is what they step on. There's so much, they're so plentiful. Kukui nut, this is our state tree. It is also our candle nut, what we use for light a long time ago before electricity and before kerosene. This was our oil that we used for light. This is a gift of knowledge and a gift of light when you give someone a kukui nut lei. So that is why it's important to keep it and let it keep going. If you can repurpose it into another lei to use to give. Our kukui nut trees grow all around our beautiful island. And we used to say when we were little, if you're walking in the mountains and you get lost, you just follow the trail of kukui nut. Because wherever the tree grows, the nuts fall and makes another tree, another tree, another tree, another tree. So if you follow it, you'll either go up or you go down. So just be mindful of where you are. They usually are brown. They have different stages of their growth. So some of you might have some white in between. As they get older, they have like little spotches of white from being aged. The black shiny ones, these have been tumbled and dyed to be black. So that's where all the shiny comes from. I like the natural dull ones because that's what it would look like when we make regular lei. Okay, you have your dental floss, which is a good, strong, happy. I usually take my dental floss and I hold it in one hand and I just measure it from my one hand out here to my shoulder here. And that would give you about 72 inches. And if you take this 72 inches, it should belong to like almost your pico, your umbilical cord, and you want to make it double. So go ahead and make a double string. The mint smells good if you have a mint. That should be good. You folks have enough? Are you good? Whatever you have, just making sure that the steps we go through, you can do with pretty much any kind of lei. Go ahead and tie a knot about 3 or 4 inches away from the end, the open end. I'm so excited doing this with you. Okay, calm down. Okay, so I just have a knot, happy knot. And then you should have your loop. Your loop end is where you're gonna take your lei needle, your trusty lei needle. There's a little hook on one end and an open poker up here. Take that loop and just click it right into that, hold it right into that loop. Everybody good? Thumbs up. Yes? Cool. Okay. Yeah, she's good. Okay. Now you want to do a pattern because, you know, you have some really cool stuff in your box of happy, your ipu ho'ohana. So here you go. Usually it's good to start off with the he'e berry because it'll just clinch that ending part. And when you see the he'e berry, wherever you clip it, that's the stem part. And you're gonna put your hand close up to that tip. Don't put your hand on the bottom. because it's going to be boinging and you probably poke yourself. So just take it from the top of your lei needle and then go ahead and push into the stem. Careful that you don't poke your hand, and just hold the side of the head, and it's really a firm berry, and just push it right through. And let's go 2 of them. Same thing at the very tip of your lei needle, and go ahead and poke right through. Okay, you should have 2. Push it down to the end and go ahead and take it all the way through. You don't have to go all the way to the end of the knot, because if you don't have a big enough knot, your He'e Berry will just go right through it. Just go to as far as you can on the bottom. And if your lei needle comes out of your hook, just go ahead and hook it back up. So there you go. So I'm just going to go like almost to the end of the knot and stop right there. So as I'm looking at my happy things that I have here, since I have some mock orange ready, I'm going to go ahead and take 4 leaves. I'm going to place them one on top of the other. And you want the shiny side, the top, and the shiny side on the bottom. And you can just put them together in a crisscross pattern, because they do that really nicely. And you can either bend it in half and sew it through. That's what I'm doing. And just stick it right through the middle. And then push that through all the way down to the end to meet your He'e Berry. Again, I'm just making my own pattern. So if you want to change your pattern up, you just go ahead and be creative. Then I'll probably put maybe 2 more He'e Berries, because we have such a bit of them. And if you notice, we have all different colors, pink, red. They're all the different stages of this octopus tree that was growing. It's so beautiful. So if your creativity is up to you, how you want to place things. And then go ahead and smash your kukui nut. So you should have your mock orange. So that's what I have. Okay, everybody okie dokes? We're gonna move on. Then I'm thinking, oh, I have beautiful shell. So I think I'll take a bubble shell. I'll put a bubble shell string in. Ooh, pretty. And then maybe I'll put one of my kukui nut. And as you can see, your kukui nut, you have bigger and smaller ones. If you use the smaller ones first and use the bigger ones in the middle, that's a good thing, because it's like a graduated size of kukui nut. There's a bottom end point, and then there's a flat end. So I'm going to go through the flat end of my kukui nut. We're so happy because they're already drilled. And then just to make it look pretty cool, I'm going to put another white bubble shell. Same thing, just hook it back on. Thank goodness for laying it. Go. Good. Yeah. Okay. And then you just do your patterns, whatever you like on your pattern, and you'll just keep stringing. Maybe we can open up for questions.
Put it on there. My lei needle broke.
I'm sorry.
My lei needle broke when I tried to push it into the string. It broke. The little hook.
The little
Yeah.
hook part. Okay.
Mine did
So,
too.
oh shucks.
Wow.
That's the thing, sorry, these were bought at Ben Franklin. Yeah, Ben Franklin. They used to make them with a really, that's why this is my favorite lei needle. It's an older lei needle, but my dad made our lei needle, and he used a thicker wire. And then his hook, he just used a little plier. And if you have a long nose plier, you can still go ahead and make a hook on the bottom of yours.
Okay, I'll try.
Yeah, shucksers, sorry.
No.
You can also use a crochet needle. It won't have a hook, but you can make it like a sewing long double thread, and it'll be pa'a. It'll stay strong on it. So you could go ahead and do that same kind of.
I don't think I have those. I'm gonna try the pliers.
Yeah, try pliers and then just curl it.
I'm gonna
curl
try.
it.
I have.
You might want to curl it and smash it down a little bit because
Yeah.
you don't want it to rip your. You want to make sure that you can, pull through.
Yeah. Okay.
But if you have a long sewing needle with an eye, you can use one of those.
Yeah, actually, I probably have one of those too. Okay.
Okay.
Go try. Thank you.
Yes. So go ahead and keep making your patterns. If you run out, change your pattern. Because you can. It'll be a nice lei for graduation, for anything, for Father's Day,
Anniversary.
Anniversaries. Yes.
Today.
Yeah,
Perfect.
thank you. Just because I love you, Day.
I'll pick mine up. I don't understand what you're saying. Okay, I'm gonna take mine.
There you go. So even if you still have, probably have more He'e Berry than anything else, just go ahead and make plenty He'e Berry section. So like maybe 6 He'e Berry, because we have quite a bit in your collection that we've given you. You might have some berry that have already blossomed with their stamens out. These will get all dried up and they will fall off on the person that you're giving their lei to. So the best thing to do with that is I just pull mine off. I just roll my hands on this. And that's probably why if you have gloves, you'll be okay. But if you just pull it off, just rub it off, it'll be fine. Or just use all the berries that don't have these stamens yet. There you go. Everybody good? Longs also sells lei needle, but they don't have them as frequent. So you should call ahead if you want to purchase lei needle from someplace. Sometimes our ko'olau farmers, I've seen them have lei needle. But for us, I think making it with a good wire and a little long nose plier at the end to do your hook is the best. When you string, because it's such a hardy berry, making sure that you stay close to the top of your needle and work with so you don't bend your needle is a good idea. And don't poke your finger. I'm just bunching up a whole bunch on my lei needle. And even if it comes off, it's okay, off the thread for now. Just gonna put it takes about 75 to 80 He'e berry to just make a strand of berry lei. So if you want to make that, you can just do that too. And just making sure that you remember that whoever you give it to, if they're wearing a good shirt, they'll be fine.
So where is the best place?
The best place to find He'e Berry? You would have to go.
Sorry, you're muted. Cheryl, you're muted.
So you take the 4 leaves and you put them together, and what part of the leaf should you put them through the needle?
Right through the middle.
Okay, thank you.
Right through the middle. You could even you can even fold your mock orange. You could fold it over. After you put them all together, you could just fold it in a twist and then go right through the middle.
Oh, well, I already started the other way. So.
Anyway,
Keep the pattern.
that's what's nice about lei. You can be as creative as you want to,
Yeah.
and it's gonna look beautiful no matter what, because our intention of giving the lei is the best part.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then just happily sew along, thinking happy thoughts all the time. When you make a lei and you're thinking of what you're gonna make a lei with, what kind of flowers or what kinds of accessories you're gonna put in your lei, you think of who you're making it for. And then when you go ahead and collect all these things that you're making your lei with, no matter what it is, even if it's just a simple plumeria, you're thinking of that person constantly. You're thinking of happy thoughts, because every time that you poke something with this needle is a thought. Every item in here is something special. So when you give that person, whoever it is, and it could change from one person to another person, you think of all the people that you love and the people that you miss, and you sow all those feelings and thoughts into your lei. And no matter how many things or how less things you have, it's always the best intentions and the most love and aloha that you have put into your sewing of what you made. For whoever you make it for, even if it's just for your home. Thanks. Fun. So fun. Are you having fun? Have fun. It's good for us to think of all the happy stuff. Happy, happy. Especially during the crazy times that we're going through. So there you go. Make a lei. And you sing a song. For you a lei of flowers rare, for you a lei to hold and wear, for you a lei to caress when you go away. Throw your troubles away and be happy and gay. Okay, I gotta calm down, sorry. It's a
That's
good
nice.
song. There's a second verse. But it's an old song. We're good at old songs. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
She's not. Palapu Street Band is known for old songs. Oh, Vailana, you know that. And Laurie, you know that. Oh, and so do you, Cheryl. Oh my goodness. So there you go. Your creativity of any of your lei items is going to be beautiful, and it's going to come out perfect every time. I'm deviating from my leaf pattern and going into rogue mode.
Lori Lloyd and I went out early one morning to a house where I had already asked permission to harvest their tree, and they were such lovely people. They stayed with us actually and helped most of the time we were harvesting these berries. Lori called it a caper because it was a little bit dangerous because we weren't sure if we had to get up in the tree, but actually it turned out to be very easy. But it was just so much fun collecting, and the people were great. And they were disappointed that we were the only people that asked them this year if we could harvest their tree. Oh. So that was really, really nice because we were actually a little bit nervous about it. But we had a great time. We came home and Hillary was here to greet us, and we had cleaned up the He'e berry and laid them out.
They're beautiful.
It was a very fun morning to do that. Thank you again, Lori. Lori Lloyd.
Nice.
We had 2 Loris today.
It was a great experience, and I'm so glad you've come up with this tutorial, and thank you, Kumu, Hillary. I just growing up here and all the games we played with the octopus, you know, the long stem, spinning it on your finger, and when we're hiking, it's just everywhere, and it is so invasive. And I've always seen it incorporated in leis, but it's so exciting to finally get to do it.
Right.
After all these
I'm
decades.
glad. So nice.
I don't think I've ever. You can't climb the trees, so
Yeah.
that's
They're
I
pretty
think.
folding.
You know, I was thinking about that this morning, Lori, because these huge branches, we hardly had to saw at all, and they would just fall down. So I
Yes,
was wondering if the tree was like that, and if you climbed up on a tree and put your foot on a branch, if it would give way as easily as the top did.
They would, because they're really they're rubbery, so that's why they're called rubber trees. But you know, they're not a thick wooded tree, like something you would climb up on.
yeah, super junk wood, kind of fibrous, and it was shocking how easy it was to cut through with our saws. We were both bombed by the huge flower bunch the first time. We're like, oh, okay, now we know how to gather. Step aside.
Well, you folks certainly gathered beautiful colors. This tree put out such beautiful shades of pinks, reds, yellows, greens. It was beautiful.
But then the white ones aren't good for lei, right? Because
Right.
they go black.
Yes. So you'll have like, let's see if I think of this big one. These are the young berries. They're kind of like greenish white. These berries, they'll turn black really fast, and they also fall off really quickly. Whereas the red, thicker berries, they're more hardier and they'll stay on for a while. But you know, these berries will start, when they dry, they will just like either come really hard or just fall apart. So when people give us lei like this, it's so beautiful, but at the same time, when it's all dried out, that's the first thing that will fall off. So we keep all the kukui nut and the shell that's on the in-between, and the mock orange and the whatever else is in between that is foliage, we just put it into our mulch.
Oh, I was just thinking what a great strand it would be on a Christmas tree.
Oh,
yes.
Cheryl. That would be great.
That'd be beautiful. That's a lot of harvesting. I will smile and watch you and Pam if you guys go on that escapade again. I did notice at the end of our street, right across the street from Uncle Norman Avial's house, there's Spiffy Lane, and then there's our good friends that live in the next house, and their tree is loaded with berries.
It's so funny because after Pam did all this big search, I guess it was at the beginning of this week, I looked out in my backyard and the house behind me next door to Tinky, just because it's way up high, you know, it's a tall tree. It was just bursting with them. I mean, when I walked out the door, the first thing I saw were all these red berries that she'd been searching for days.
There you go.
You folks can't imagine how nervous I was that we were going to have this class and I wouldn't be able to find the berries.
She did good. You guys did good. You
asked people around me. I turned myself into a nervous wreck.
Yep.
I couldn't tell. She was so very calm, very ready. So fun.
Yeah.
Lana, I hope you can fix your lei needle and get your lei started too. But same thing, everybody, you know, if you don't have a lei needle, just make sure you double string crochet thread or dental floss. A regular thread would not hold this the pulling of this berry, unless you have like a quilting thread or something. That would go good. But if it was just a regular thread, it would not have sustained all of this action of holy macaberry berry tree.
I'm looking at my lime tree and it's got leaves about the size of the mock orange. I'm thinking that might be interesting.
Yes. That's another thing too, you know, while you're making your lei, you're thinking of, oh, so much possibilities.
Yeah.
You could even, in my other lei that I was showing you, they used tea leaf pieces, and they would just cut the tea leaf in long slivers or even in squares and then bend that together. But tea leaf is a little tricky because if you use it too early, they start sapping on you and then your fingers get all sticky and it's not fun. And my dad used to always go, oh, why do you want to do that to the tea leaf lei? It's for our food. So we would wrap our tea leaf with our food or make a skirt with our hula. But you know, being creative is good.
Bread broke.
Yeah, oh, did you not? Oh, you were using the crochet one. How long did you could just there? Yours is long.
Yeah.
Oh, you're done.
Pretty good.
If your lei is long enough, or if you're still working on it, I don't know how our time is, but hopefully you've went quite a bit of ways. Anyways, we're going to show you two different. There you go. Oh, beautiful. Pam made a beautiful long lei, and I made like a woman's holy macaroni lei.
I just put one of my berries on upside down.
That's okay. Can't tell. Cool. Nice, pretty.
It would have been better if I'd given them double.
Double.
So Hillary,
Yes.
I made a mistake on mine. I missed a leaf. And then, so in my mind, I'm thinking, but you know what? We're not perfect, but we're still beautiful. And then,
Exactly.
do you guys
My
remember
pattern-
that Bob Ross, the
Yes.
artist?
He's my
with the
favorite
big
painter.
hair?
Yes, I love him.
It was a happy accident, is
It
what
was.
he used to call it.
I have many happy accidents because I wanted to show you different patterns. So there you go. You have a different pattern of beautifulness. And that's the thing, you know, when you're wearing a lei, you really cannot tell the pattern because it's so pretty. You're just like looking at everything that you have on it. And then you'll have someone go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Oh, you missed one.
No, I didn't. It was a happy accident.
Exactly. I love it. Yeah, my pattern is not the same. And I like it like that. This is so nice and relaxing to hang out with you folks in this morning. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. Thank you for this class.
Sure. Anytime. There's so many things that we could do.
Can anybody hold up their lei?
You
Does
wanna?
someone
Can we
share?
see how much you have so far? Just a little. If you have even a. Oh, you folks, nice. Oh yes, Vailana, you are doing really good too. That's okay. You'll get there. Sneaky needles.
That aren't good needles.
No.
They're expensive, but they're not good.
So when you put the leaf on, do you stick it right in the middle?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Mahalo.
Yep. Like you could just put them all together like on a pile. Twist and turn if you want to, up and down. And then once you stack it up, you want to at least have a shiny on the top and a shiny on the bottom. And then
Oh,
you can either crush it in the middle and turn it up. And then when you put it on your string, it looks like really cool in between.
Might broke off and went into my finger.
Are you all right? Did you get it out? Oh, nice. When you're finished, can we use yours?
I thought I would do it. See if I can get this one.
Oh, yeah. Okay, here's mine. When you're done, at the end of your lei, say you have like, extra bows. You just happen to have some bows in your house. Or if you were like Pam, she made a bow this morning between her two fingers.
I gave them bows.
And you have bows in your happy gifts of happy. You're gonna take your long strands of your tie area and end your lei. We're gonna show you how to finish. It's good if you're doing your lei and you have a friend with you, and if in case your lei needle breaks, you can borrow theirs. And it works. It works.
It's so easy.
Yeah, because it's been. You can tell it on my hand. Oh, yeah, it's perfect. So we have a finished product that we can show you in a bit. I'm going to show you how she puts her bow on.
I just wanted to say that I have needles, plumeria needles for making lei. I've never had one break before, and mine just broke now. So I was so glad that whoever had that happen before, we found out what to do. So I went and got my snub-nosed pliers, and I did what you said. So thank you. I guess
You're
these are tough
welcome.
little berries,
Yes,
because this doesn't happen with the plumeria lei.
right, because they're so nice and lacy and
Yeah,
milky
soft.
and soft.
Yeah.
Yeah. These berries are pretty hefty. It's their job.
Right.
So Pam is putting her last of her ribbon on the back of her ending of her knot. She tied it together. Beautiful. And there you go. Dun, dun, dun. Cool. And if you're gonna if you'd like to make it like a choker, go ahead and tie an end. It's gonna make a quick one. So I have a knot and a knot. I'm gonna keep the loop open. Just tying the end a little bit more. Where I tied my knot at the very beginning, I'm just tying another knot. So I decided to make it like a choker lei.
Aha.
If you make a really long lei, you can always double it. But especially if you're a musician or a hula girl, if you're wearing a certain kind of dress, or you're playing music with your people. I would take a ribbon, and I just slip my ribbon through the loop. It's all but I would just put a ribbon through this loop and tie it in a knot on one end. Because remember, this lei will dry as it ages. So your best bet is to wear it as soon as you can. After you finish making your lei, you can use one of your containers to put your lei in it and stick it in the refrigerator. You don't have to put it in a newspaper or anything. Or if you don't have a plastic container, just wrap it up in a paper towel and that should be fine. Anyways, I just opened up my other loop on the other end, sticking my other ribbon through. I'm gonna tie a knot this side.
So I took off a little bit because I had to rethread it, but it's really short. I was going to make a lei for a man, so I should do more because it's double, right? It's double.
Right. If your did your string break?
No, I cut off the knot because I knotted it so tight that the string was just maybe 3 inches. But so when I do it, I should probably double it from this.
Right. You want to double. You want to
double
it.
This length.
Oh, right. So after we measured this from here to there, then I took it and I did it again.
Okay.
I doubled it.
Thing. Okie dokie.
And then you'll have your loop.
Now that I have a spiffy lei needle here.
Yeah, there you go. So I just tied a ribbon on both sides, and then you just make it like a woman lei. This is a woman's lei. Some men will wear this too if they're playing guitar, so it doesn't go too far. Just kind of like sit there. Kind of cool, huh? And there you go. We should go play music. We're gonna do that. We're gonna dance some hula now. But what's nice about this one too, you can always take it off and share it to somebody else. Sort of. There you go. Beautiful. Ta-da. Is everybody finished?
That's awesome.
He'e Berry Lei.
Thank you for sharing all the materials because they were so generous. I have plenty left to make another lei.
Yes, and that was our aim, so that you can take it all apart again, and then now that you know how to work your hands, you should have enough to make maybe 2 or 3 lei.
Should we?
Yep.
This was awesome. I mean, the storytelling that went along with it. This brings back when I first moved to Hawaii, and I was so enthused about all of the flora and fauna and making lei. And then, of course, over the years, you get busy going to work. And this just brought it all back. It's so lovely, Hillary.
Nice.
I'm so happy. Thank you for all your good thoughts. And it's just wonderful.
You're so
Appreciate it
welcome.
very much.
Thank you for inviting me. It's so nice to meet all of you ladies and see everybody on Zoom. Thank you, Miles, for putting us together.
Yes.
Sure thing. Glad
Very
to help,
cool.
Irene.
I'm using the raffia for my
For your tie.
tie.
Oh, nice. That'll make a nice bow too.
And more masculine.
Well, that's what it was. It's for Father's Day and anniversary. So
Oh, beautiful. So we know you're going to make more lei with all your happy that you have. That's so good.
well, now wait a minute, Hillary. Let's
Giving you positive thoughts.
Can I ask this? You recommend spritzing it before you put it in the fridge or just leave it as is?
I think because it's let's see, what do I want to say? Dry? Yeah, I think if you leave it dry, it'll be okay.
Okay.
Unless you took the berries off already. Also remember that when you put something in the fridge, it's still kind of growing. That it'll get a little bit moisture. So sometimes it'll turn a little black and spotty.
Oh, got it.
So that's why we put it in a newspaper. It didn't hold all that moisture in, so it still looks fresh. This should last in your refrigerator for 3 to 4 days.
Got it.
And then just take the berries off as needed. But if you've already taken all your berries off, try and sew it as quickly as you can. If you wait too long, the berry gets really hard and you won't be able to stick the needle through. Because that's how it works. Like little marbles.
Any more questions?
Is there a trick at the end when you tie it to hide the threads or?
You just want to make sure that you tie your two ends really tight so that they meet, and then tie it twice. And then cut off your end of your strings, and then that's where you want to put a ribbon over there.
Oh,
And I
that's where
left
you
the
put the ribbon. Got
raffia
it.
on the,
Okay.
on the bow, so you could just tie the raffia, tie the bow on.
Okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're so welcome. It's like a little package gift. Everybody good?
Okay, everybody, thank you very much for joining us. This was
Thank you for all
so
your
much
work.
a fun thing to
Oh,
do.
Nice, Laurie.
Very
Nice.
fun. Very, very
Beautiful.
fun.
Father's Day.
Yep.
Yes,
Have a
thank you
happy
so
Papa.
much.
Thank
This was
you.
great.
Thank you.
Aloha.
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 Thank you for inviting. Aloha.
Hi, everyone. Good job.
Thank you, Miles.
Thank you, Miles.
Thanks,
very much.
Miles.